Hello, hello. How is
Hi, everybody.
everybody? I'm going to switch places with, if you don't mind. It's good to see everyone. Another Friday night, and I saw Linda Kennedy came in and wished us both well individually. I thought that was so sweet.
Thank you, Linda.
And then Charlie is here. Hello. Oh gosh, Annie Hamlet. Hello, sweetheart. Ness, got you.
Hi,
Got you,
Ness.
baby. This is great. And Anne Iva. I love those little decorative hearts. I love them a lot. So nice of you all to be here tonight. This is, as you know, uh, Lalit's presentation for what to expect for the upcoming week in the astrologically. So what I am going to do is let her have the stage. But in the meantime, when you want to, if you have a question to ask, because we're going to do question and answers afterwards, please write them all in caps. So I'll be monitoring the chat and setting aside those questions. How are you, Lalit? I was just motorboating through.
I'm this week is so complex. I have so many things I want to say. I hope I can say it in a coherent and clear, concise way. So I understand things now. If I say something that you need to clarify later, put it in the comment and
yes,
I'll clarify it, because there's a lot going on this week.
Okay. Well, without further ado, I'm going to give you the stage. Let me figure it out here. Just one moment, please. And up and.
Oh, that was good. That was your head on my body. I like that one. A morph. All right. Hi, everybody. Hey, I'm wearing my dress in honor of the lunation, sun and moon. We've got the full moon happening, and it's going to be the biggest one of the year. This is the biggest astrological event of the year, and we aren't going to see another thing probably this important for a couple of years. It's a big week coming up. So let me dive into it. And I prepared some little pictures that we could talk about. So I'll go in and out of the pictures here. So the full moon is happening on Monday. And this is 11:26 in the morning Pacific time. So that's like 2:26, 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. And I would just want to point out a few things that explains why this is so important. We know Mercury, Mercury is retrograde. There are many planets retrograde. And whenever a planet is retrograde, the power is intensified and we feel it more. Mercury is here exactly conjunct with the sun. And this is for the full moon day Monday, but it's right up there now. We're feeling all of these today. They'll be more precise on Monday. We also have the big outer planets going retrograde. We have Neptune retrograde in Pisces, the biggie Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and Pluto all retrograde. So that means the events of this week are going to be more, they will have more power for the future, long-term events, and things are changing that will have far-reaching consequences into the future. So we're all going to be feeling this, and let's talk a little bit about it. So I'm going to point back to the chart. So Mars has gone into Gemini, and I'd like you to notice that it's sitting right here with Jupiter. Hey, now that should be a really normal thing we think about as something very positive, expansive, fortuitous, but it's in Gemini, so the energy is very, it's a little bit scattered. Things are changing quickly. Things are moving fast, a little bit changing direction. Let's turn left here, change of direction a lot. And things are fast moving and can seem like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So that kind of thing can happen. Now, I'd like you to notice that we have some this lunation is happening in the sign of Leo. 26 degrees is Mercury and 27 is the sun. Ex-president number 45, Trump, has this is his ascendant where his natal Mars is, exactly where the lunation is occurring. By a strange twist of fate, he chose a running mate with the exact same ascendant that he has. So for both of them, this is a pivotal week from which there is no going back. It will be a very big change. And you know, it's on top of Trump's Mars, and he has a go-to reaction to anything that happens to him, to react with lashing out and to lose a bit of his temper and to be vengeful and saying bad things about people. And in Gemini, there's going to be a lot of trash talking and lies and putting people down. So you can expect much more of that if it seems even possible. But that's his reaction. He's going to have a gut reaction because he will be feeling that the rug is taken out from under his feet and he is very fearful. So this is a forward-looking aspect for this lunation, because we have several things going on other than Mars and Jupiter, which is very expansive. For Trump, he's been overconfident and he's going to begin to see the light. So we see that in this chart, there are several things that are going on that I've drawn so that you can see them a little bit more clearly. There are 3 planets. This is the moment of the full moon, but I'm isolating some of the events so you can see them. In the upper left corner, circled around Venus in Virgo, this is the beginning of the convention, the Democratic Convention. There's going to be some really beautiful communication between people. So the Venus element, you know, is the divine feminine, and Kamala Harris has a very strong Virgo influence in her chart. She is going to be giving some very clear thinking, open communication with women. It is in opposition. You look across, directly across from Venus is Saturn. So this is a bit changing of the guard, because there has been a male-dominated power center in the society, and Saturn is representing that, the power center, the legal system, the past, and the people who have been, our country was founded with the Declaration of Independence, saying in order to provide a more perfect union. So women and the slaves were left out at the beginning, and this is coming to the circle of having a more perfect union. So some things are changing, and the feminine power is going to be really intensified, and the women and also young people, the youth, are going to be given a forefront in a way that has never happened before. And it's going to be shakeup of the roots of our society in a very good, beautiful way. Now we see Mars and Saturn. See, Mars and Jupiter are together, and that's all together with Saturn. What did she say? The warriors of joy. Mars being the warrior, Jupiter being joy. So she came out saying, we're the warriors of joy. That's exactly what those two things are. The warrior energy and expanding and joy and societal influences that are for the benefit of all. Remembering that we have Pluto in Aquarius and all of the big Saturn, Jupiter conjunctions that have happened every 20 years since the 1900s. They've occurred 1900, 1920, 1940, 1960, 1980, and in 2000, they finally changed into the sign of Aquarius for the first time, and that Saturn-Jupiter cycle is what's always called every 20 years the Great Conjunction, and it always marks a change in society, something major. And this one is way more important than the others because of the Aquarius influence, with Pluto entering Aquarius at the same time, a change at the foundation of our society and the principles on which America was founded. That is, we the people. It's going to be really the people, not just we, the white men. It's going to be we, all the people, and it's going to be benefiting society at large. But it's kind of a major shakeup and very much against the resistance movement, which would be Project 2025, which is the exact polar opposite of all those things. So I just wanted you to see this. Venus is in Virgo, Mars and Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces. These are the mutable signs, which are all of them signs of transition, signs of changing, of big dramatic change. And this is a T-square. Notice that in the corner we have a 90-degree angle. So even though there are three sides, it's a 90-degree angle at the corner. And so we call it a square angle because it's 90 degrees apart. Venus is 90 degrees from Mars and Jupiter 90 from Saturn, and Saturn and Venus are 180 apart. That's called a T-square. That's the strongest force in astrology that is very powerful. And on the same day, we have another T-square. The other T-square that's happening is, of course, because it's a lunation, Sun opposite Moon. The Sun is in Leo, conjunct Mercury, and opposite is the Moon. That's what a new moon, a full moon is always like that. But Uranus is in the corner at that 90-degree angle, and it's 90 degrees away from both, right at the midpoint. What does that mean? You know that Uranus is the planet of the Aquarian age, governing the Aquarian age. And to have Uranus at exactly the same degree, right in the middle, at 27, 27, 27 is something really, really strong. So it's going to show that our society as a whole, and not just America, this would be global influence. There will be changes in the places where you see, like in Ukraine and Gaza, there are going to be some changes happening that are really important there. And of course, some of these are painful things that are going on, and we don't like seeing them, but these changes are all going to be for the benefit of mankind in a big way, because people are moving forward. People will, the brotherhood of man and humanitarian influences, let's say not just the wealth concentrated in 0.5% of people and everyone else suffering. It's not going to be like that. It doesn't happen in a day, but this is the beginning of the big change. And we're at the apex of the lunar cycle, and the Saturn-Jupiter cycle is affected, and the age of Aquarius, it's setting off all of these influences. It's so strong. Now, this Jupiter-Saturn motion that we're getting is happening this week, and it's because of the retrograde motion, it's going to happen 3 times. So it goes forward, backward, forward, till we really get to the culmination of it. But the second event will be on Christmas Eve. That's easy for you to remember. So my feeling is that the election results, which are going to be fantastically in the positive way, don't worry, it's going to be a fantastic result, a bigger landslide than you are imagining. But there will be challenges and problems like there were last year, nothing violent like that. But I think things will be more resolving. We'll really see a clear path forward in December. So a little bit more than a month will pass before everyone says, okay, all right, we see that it really was one. The third time will be happening in June of 2025. I think this is when the new policies, which are going to go through Congress, and changes to the Supreme Court and to the Congress, will take some time. Legislation takes time. So you're going to see the fruition, maybe Social Security changes in Medicare benefits to elderly people and things like that are really going to start to show in June, when the third Saturn-Jupiter meeting will occur. So let's look back. This is the full moon that's happening. We have Uranus, the big shaker, electrical change is going to be big. And I was thinking of an image of Nikola Tesla. You've seen him in the Faraday cage with little electric things, streams coming, like little lightning strikes around him. He's sitting in a chair and you see little bolts of lightning. It's going to be kind of like that, very powerful, a lot of energy to get us moving forward in a new direction for all of the people of this country. It's going to be a much happier place for school children, for education, for women's health. All these things are going to be changing, but you have to understand that it will take until about June till we will see concrete results in everyday life. And that's about how long it will take. Now let's put together those two big T-squares and you're going to see what I mean. There's two T-squares that overlap. One in the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, and that involves Sun, Mercury, Uranus, and the moon. The moon being also added to power with Pluto and Neptune, showing this is very spiritual. There's a lot of help coming to us from the other side of the veil, because this is a karmic destiny of the earth, and all people will be feeling the shift of the earth, and there will be changes within the earth, a kind of a reset. There, you can expect some things in the earth happening, but it's all working for the greater good of humanity in a major way. You do not see a confluence of events like this one. Two major T-squares, one in the fixed signs, one in the changeable signs. And it's showing it's showing that not only is it it's a tug of war. So the benefic planets and the malefic planets are it's a big tug of war, and there's some resistance to change, as there always is, but the momentum is so strong that we can see this force of nature, that this is the real beginning of the shift of humanity. And a couple of years from now, there's going to be a similar event in 2026, but as of now, this is the big one, the big event of humanity's change starting this next week that will carry us forward for a couple of years. There's not going to be as big of a change. So momentous things that will happen in our societal structure and around the earth. And these little ripples will come out from America, and the ripples will be felt in other countries, in Ukraine, and also in the Middle East. There will be powerful changes, and this is all going for the benefit of the humanitarian influences, the brotherhood of man, social things that give support to people, education, healthcare, all this kind of things are going to skyrocket forward, so that people are in a much better place. And so don't be surprised next week when you'll feel a little quicksand under your feet, that things are happening. They're happening in a very good way. We've made it through. And it's going to be, congratulatory time of joy, of happiness, and of seeing people really making, like Neil Armstrong said when he landed on the moon, a giant leap for mankind is what it is. It really is a giant leap forward, for which we will be feeling the ramifications for years to come. And so this is the lunation on Monday. August 19th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 Pacific time, and the planets are already lining up now. We're beginning to feel it, and they were going to be precise on Monday, and they are going to be exactly changing the ascendant of Donald Trump and Vance in a way that is, going to be really significant. So we can all jump for joy.
I'm jumping already. I listened to this one YouTube channel called Inside Russia. I'm sorry, I've got a cold today.
Oh, Inside Russia. I listened to that too.
I like it. He just got demonetized for some reason, but he's on.
Did?
Yeah, and he's got
terrible.
he's got a video up about it. He's heartbroken, and nonetheless, he says because he's been following Putin and the collapse of the interior of his cabinet, and he says, I've decided. One of his Putin's people declared that they're going to go into Ukraine and you just get your popcorn because we're going to blast them, blah, blah, blah. That failed. That's the one that failed tragically. And so he was there. He says, I've got in his accent, I wish I could do it. I've got my American popcorn and I'm watching. I've got my American popcorn. He's so funny.
Constantine. I like him.
Yeah. Yes.
I like him very much. So yes, Ukraine, Russia, this is a global event. And it does hit a chart of America very strongly. So
isn't that interesting that so Vance and Trump are kind of eroding.
Exactly. Oh, it's
so is Putin.
Take away their yes. It's quite amazing to observe it. And how can this happen? The exact degrees are there, and it's just revelatory. So hold on to your hat, and it's it's going to be a joy to watch. Yes.
Hang on. Yeah, hang on to your hat or cat. Hang on to your cat, oh cat lady.
Like when you get the Bronco rider gets out of the gate.
That's right. Right. Here are some starred comments.
Okay.
She said, "Beautiful Lalit. Hello. This is Mary Thornberry. I love that. So Mary's there. And and she also says that she's going to a drumming circle at a park in the
on Monday,
full moon. Yeah,
oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, and she also says, "Love it, sisters are doing it for themselves, standing on their own two feet." And ringing in their own bells. We say sisters are doing it for themselves. I love that. It's a rhyme. I love that.
The women of the Democratic Party and all the Black women, and we have young people and all of the Swifties and all of these factions of people are going to come out en masse as never before.
Does anyone in the chat, I'm kind of curious about this, and Lalit, if you can watch the chat, I'm in the starred area. Does anyone know what Taylor Swift is doing did she do a show and say go vote, or is there something on the horizon?
I think she will be. She hasn't done it yet, but she had run into some terrorist problems in Europe, and her concerts were canceled because there were death threats of violence from the militant Islamic people, I think it was. I'm not sure, but they had to cancel her events. So she's been sort of caught up in that. I think she's going to come out soon with a big endorsement that will mean 1 million new registrations. She last time at the 2020, she announced how to register, and that day she did that. 250,000 new young people registered, and they were followed, and they did turn out and vote. And she's going to do more this time. I think you can expect her influencing 1 million people.
I love this. I love. So I do have Louisa. Thank you for reminding everyone to give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. Participating in the chat helps, and commenting
And
after the show.
comments after. That's so important. It changes the whole algorithm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the main thing is that I'm happy you're here. If you do it, yes. If you don't do it, that's fine. I'm just happy that you're here. God bless you. Okay, now we're going to get to some questions. I would like to do, there's a new person here in the chat named Bob. I want to say hello to Bob. And, oh, wait a minute. Yes, August 27th, I think she announces. We're talking about
Taylor Swift.
Thank you so much. And she says she'll be at the conference. What? She will be after the convention to
After the
okay,
convention, yeah.
You were right. Yeah. Now let me see this. I'm searching for my Bob. Where's my Bob? Welcome, Bob. You're brand new. Find Bob for me. Bob Nelson. There we are. I want to say hello. He follows Linda G, Andre, Meldor, and Sterling. And he came here to see us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
There is there is an astrology question. I have no idea what it means, and I'm going to put in onto you. One is, oh gosh, excuse me. Okay, it's here. It is somewhere. Okay. Oh, I think this is it. It must be Aries in my 6th house. Will my health improve soon?
Annie, do I have your chart? Because having Aries in the 6th house is not enough knowledge. If you, for example, have Saturn there, that's one thing. If you have Mars or Jupiter there, that's another situation. So just knowing that you have Aries in the 6th house, that's not
enough
information.
So what is the information? Oh, first of all, I want to say this. People who are here, Lalit will give you your chart.
Yeah.
And send it to you. All you have to do is email her at astrologyvibrations, plural, at gmail.com and request a chart. She also would like you, I'm going to talk for you. She also insists, which I forgot to mention last time, your screen name and your real name. So she can find the chart easily.
And let me say one thing about what we can say about Aries. So you have Aries in the 6th house. The new moon, just the full moon that's happening, is also Aries in the 6th house here. Now Aries is ruled by Mars. So your 6th house ruler is Mars. Having Mars together with Jupiter is an indication that there might be something excessive, like inflammation or blood disorders or high cholesterol, something excessive. If we have more information, you can give more details. But right now, with Jupiter and Mars together, it's some sign of too much of something, too much cholesterol, too much blood pressure, too much that sort of thing. So that would be an indication to be watching to control things of that nature and be guiding yourself with healthy diet and exercise. This is always good advice. I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm only looking at the astrology we know. We don't have enough information without your chart, because we'd like to see what do you have in there in terms of planets and influence with them. So if you send me your birth time, I will do that for you and look it up. I have to say, I checked a few days ago and nobody had asked me for a chart. And then I've been so full. Yeah, I didn't get any requests after last week. And so I didn't look the past 2 or 3 days because I've been so caught up saying with these things, trying to figure out how I could, since it's so complex, how
I
I could
know, and
explain it to you.
there's a lot to say
There's a
once you get
lot. It's
once
so
you get.
complex.
I
Oh
know,
my
but when
gosh, this
you
is
have
crazy.
you have a sharp mind, and I know when you see a chart, the information just flows to you. But I want to remind everyone that this is just
If you want a chart, send me your birthday,
so
time, and place. If you
these
don't know
are
the time, say so.
these
And
are. Mhm.
I'll send it to you, your little analysis for free. And Annie, I can look better at your question if I have it. I don't think I do. Do I?
So anyway, yeah, these are just mini readings. If you need, if you have a pressing
Oh,
question,
Cynthia.
of course, we
Yeah.
can certainly get a hold of Lalit or I, and we can certainly go a little deeper. There is one more astrology.
Oh, I see Cynthia said she got her daughter's birthday. Yes, I had offered a half price off special for the big in-depth reading. The thing I will send you for free is your chart and a little printed analysis with some basic transits and things. And if you need, but it's not a reading. So Cynthia's talking about a half price special for readings, which I'm doing if you're interested in that.
Okay.
All
So
right.
we're going to go into Dolly. This is an astrology question.
Okay.
If you have time for a reading, Libra, Sun, Scorpio, Rising, and Pisces, Moon. Does this mean it's the same kind of thing? You don't have enough information?
Well, that gives me something to go on. But can you just if you can put down, or if you don't want to do it in the chat, you could send me. I'll look at my email if you want to give me the details. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, let me write down what you said. What you said Scorpio rising.
No, Libra, Sun, Scorpio, Rising, and Pisces, Moon. Oh, you're emotional.
Oh yeah,
That's
this is
all I
deep,
know.
intense, emotional, and also very artistic and
Yeah.
creative.
Not that I know astrology, but
Sensitive.
I know the moon in
That's
Pisces.
absolutely moon in Pisces. Well, this full moon is happening with Neptune in Pisces also, so it's a time for increased sensitivity for everybody. But if you want to give me your birthday, what's the name on this person?
Dolly L.
Dolly. Okay, Dolly. Do you want me to just look at that, and I'll talk about it a little bit into the reading session? I'll give you a chance to look at it. If you want to
do
send
that.
me your info, I will look at it.
So you'll have to keep
I'll look.
You'll have to keep an eye on the chat because I'm in a different section right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go into, thank you, Dolly. I'm going to go into
September
Ness's.
29. Okay, Dolly. Well, that just you need to give me the, if you want, the September 29 is something, but to do it properly, I need the year. You can email it to me if you want.
Right. When I do numerology, it's so funny on the lines when I'm working on the hotlines, I'll ask for a birthday and sometimes just month and day. I can't tell you how old I am, but of course legally I have to know how old you are. So you have to be over 18 to I have for me to talk to you.
1966. Okay.
So that's on its way. We've got.
I got it, Dolly. Do you have the time and place? Time and place.
Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go on with Ness right now.
Okay.
Someone, toxic manager, not mine, from a former company, emailed me this week asking if I still had old test phones. I was let go, and it's been 7 months. The email is odd. Here's the second part. Why did Maddie email me asking me for the phones? So odd. Here we go. So her name is Maddie. That's what I'm going to hold on to. And I'm going to look. It's like when you do with readings, when I do readings, I kind of look behind them and then look. So I'm at their back, looking through their eyes and seeing where they're focused on. And that's how I set myself up for the reading. And so now I'm doing her energy. There is no love loss here. I've got the Knight of Cups reversed. It's not messages of love. I don't know if if you're being set up, but I'm looking at that right now. One moment. Oh, you were mistreated bad. I've got the 10 of Swords. That indicates how it was 7 months ago. Not now, but 7 months ago. I think she made a mistake. Tell me, I'm going to go to the chat, live chat, Ness. Would you please tell me this? It feels like, yes, you were mistreated by Maddie. That's what I see here. So what I see here is that she mismanaged the situation when you left, and she's in trouble for not collecting the phones or something like that. So even though she doesn't like needing to connect with you again, yeah, she said she was stupid, incompetent. Yeah, and she's paying the price for that. It's been 7 months, and everyone says, well, you didn't outsource. What do you call it? Outbound a person. So how is she going to do this? It looks like brute force. She's going to be sweet to you. Listen to this, Ness. I have got the magician for what she wants. That's how she feels about herself. I can make this work. I can get those phones back. And then, excuse me, 2 of Cups for the environment. I'm just going to kiss Ness all over and say, hey, how you been doing? Get on the good side of her. But then the hopes and fears department, reverse, Ace of Cups. It's like, I don't love you. And then the 10 of Pentacles reversed, which is usually family or legacy. That's upside down too. This is a little girl that puts emotion over company and holds grudges. Anyway, she's actually kind of thinking that her being reprimanded for this is your fault. It's so stupid. So, yeah, she says, yes, she's not healthy. It does look like she's very, very proud of herself next month. I've got the 6 of Wands upright. And as you know, I do 1 month increments because this energies sometimes are slow. So right now she's going to get it, try and get it from you. And then it does look like she succeeds. If you want to give it to her sooner than later, you can. If not, there's no love loss. She's just going to have to, if you know what I'm thinking, Ness? Yeah, she takes credit for other people's work. Oh, you threw the phones away. Awesome. 1 week before she emailed me. I love that TikTok girl. So just say you don't have them anymore and see how that works for her. I think that is, I think she's starting to implode, right? Implode. So she says, I could have sold them, but I didn't want to do that. You know what? Someone they gave me a gift certificate for a sizable gift certificate, and then they turned on me, and she was mad at me, and then we had this. We didn't really have a falling out, but when I realized how she really felt about me, I gave the gift certificate away. I know that sounds so weird, but I don't want anything to do with her. So I see you, and I hope that. I really hope that works out for you. It's definitely going to work out for you. There's nothing wrong. It's not so much going to work out with her, which is kind of nice, actually. Kind of nice. Oh, gosh, Ness, you're the best. Thanks for coming and asking questions. And now Ness is a 33 life path, so she's one of those brilliant ones. So, and we've got Anne Iva. Do you feel it's a good time for me to go on a long trip in September, October, ? I love that long trip. The everything sort of shifts in September, numbers wise, when you do numerology. So whatever year, your personal year you're in now is going to start fading and shifting into the new energy. So I always think September, October is a great time to start things. Or, but what do you say, Lalit? September, October for
Ness, or you're
no, no,
saying,
no,
or in
no, not
general?
for
Oh,
no, just in general, just in general.
well, September and October is a good time for reevaluating and setting new goals and turning over a new leaf.
Ah, perfect. You know, you could do that while you're on your long trip. That would be so good. Let me do some cards real quick. And
I saw a question by Charlie, I think it was, asking if the last degrees of a sign are more intense. Well, there's something about degree 29 that makes it such. So that it's not only just the last degrees, but especially 29 has some unusual characteristics to it. So yes, the last degrees of a sign can be more powerful.
I am so happy for you, Anne. I've got the Six of Cups, which is moving into calmer waters, right? So this is like right now as you're pondering whether to go on vacation. And I have the Four of Cups crossing it, which means I'm a little bored, I'm restless. So so the Four of Cups upright can be indifference, or just bored. And when it's reversed, it's antsy. You want to do something, but you don't know what to do. Both fit in really good because you want to go on this vacation. I have the Three of Wands. You can't get better for travel. The Three of Wands. And that's just right now the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands. All of these are, it's like a new beginning for you has already started. No, you're not going to be taken advantage of. I've got the Seven of Swords upright, which is somebody's taking something away from you. It's reverse. Nobody's going to take anything away. I've got the Fool card, which means there's a major blessing coming your way. It's going to come in quickly, and you're going to address that blessing as if it's a brand new thing you've never done before, which is really great. I've got the Three of Cups, celebrations. And now I don't know if you're going to visit family, but I do have the family card with the 10 of Pentacles. But man, it's a great reading. Now I do, like I mentioned, 1 month increments. So let's say between now and the middle of September is this really cool energy. Like the Fool card is a really great energy. And then after that is the Hanged Man, which says, oh, you will be kind of reassessing yourself after this. Or near the end of your travels, and you're going to just be a brand new person, start fresh with a lot of different things, because you'll think outside the box, say, hey, this is pretty fun, maybe I can go to Europe and do this. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out. I'm not reading that in the cards or anything, but I say go for it. Absolutely go for it.
I can talk about Dolly if there's a moment.
Yes.
Okay, Dolly.
Just a minute. Let me hide this, and then I'm going to go away.
So here's Dolly. Your natal chart is on the inside. I set it up with Scorpio rising, not the exact time, but like you told me, Scorpio is rising, and you have this lunation that we're talking about occurring at your midheaven over your Mars. So there is a lot of energetic, and there is a tendency in your horoscope toward worrying and anxiety. So you need to calm down your worrying and set that aside and go to your heart center, because you're Leo, Mars in Leo, the heart center. You can radiate energy from your heart in gratitude and love. You need to focus on that and push away the worry that you're feeling, because there is an influx of healing energy for you at this lunation. that can really help cure you and give you some healing. And focus on your heart center and sending light from your heart radiating out. Feel gratitude, feelings of love, and focus your mind on that so hard that the feelings of anxiety cannot enter. And you do have a good chance for some serious healing at this full moon. So yes, that's a very cursory analysis, but the best we can do here. If you send me your birth time, I can be more precise and
We have
place.
we have a celebrity in the house, Jonathan
Oh,
Daly. He lives in Hawaii, and he was the very first person to put me on a YouTube show. So he's my love. So he's got a couple questions I want to pull in here. What system of astrology does Lalit work with?
well, I work with, if you're talking like house systems, I will do Placidus or Koch house systems, but Western astrology, I'm not versed in Vedic astrology or Chinese astrology. I know just really superficial things, not enough to say anything. So
So he does.
traditional Western astrology, if
So
that
it
was your
looks like
question.
he's struggling. He says, I have a hard time giving you a place or giving a place for my chart. I was born in Mexico in a cottage in a waterbed in a village I can't find on Google's maps.
Um, you the name of the village is not there, or the closest village that would be there. You just can't find it on Google Maps anywhere.
So, whatever you have available to you, um, why don't you email Lalit and
Yeah,
she'll throw something together. She's a whiz at.
if you can narrow it down to the zone in Mexico, like the region, it's in Sonora or it's in near Guadalajara or whatever, anything nearby that if you can narrow it down, and if you know the time, let's send it over and I'll look.
I like that you were born on a waterbed and in Mexico. I think that's so great. Speaks volumes of where your parents were at the time. I like that a lot. And thanks for coming, Jonathan. So email Lalit, and she's
Yeah.
going to get to the bottom of this. You're going to have some answers. I have a few more. Let me go back to the people who I first starred. One moment. Here we go. We've answered. Okay, we have SR. How is next week going to be, Lalit and Debra, for me with the letter P, which is her POI? Any next steps for us? Next week's supposed to be one of those blowout weeks.
It's a very big week, so I would say
Stay
that
loose.
stay loose and don't let your feathers get ruffled, and that you have a chance for making very positive steps.
I see that spirit is asking you to remain in neutral. This is my beige card, the temperance. Keep your horse in the middle lane. But before that was the final one. Before that, it looks like some mixed energies, and it will. So this does not mean your person of interest is going to do this, because I'm not reading him as much as I'm reading you right now. And you're going to feel manipulated by him. I'm not saying he's setting out to do that, but your emotions are going to be kind of top drawer here. And, but what we're both asking you is that if you could just white knuckle it through this next week, and just take what he gives you and don't take it personally, which is so hard to do, but read the 4 agreements as best you can. Because it shows me here that he's going to offend you. It's just like me. You stick around me long enough, I will offend you. I promise. So I hope that helps.
Dolly, I see your email. I'm going to send you an astrology chart with a basic interpretation, and I'll send you that by Sunday. Okay, with your basic interpretation and your chart. And I also got another couple of requests. I have Alice and Rose. And
Oh,
so I'll be in contact with both of you. And Rose, if you could send me your
I
date,
missed it.
time, and place.
I've got your question, Foxy. Uh, did you answer this okay for already for Charlie? Because I forgot to listen.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the last degrees, yes, there is
Okay.
some, especially for degree 29, it can be very
Okay. I
significant.
remember the 29. Uh, she said, okay. All right. There you are. Seashells, thank you for coming. Yes, you can ask a question. I think there's time left. We got 10 minutes. Please type it all in capital letters. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming, Bob. I know you had to go. I really appreciate you stopping in. Means a lot.
Okay, yeah, Bob, shoot me what information you have. We can go for that. And if anything you can tell me about the village where you are, I mean, if you can narrow it down a little bit to the
Right.
closest city, that would be good.
Yeah. Astrology vibrations plural at gmail.com. Stick it up there for you. And
Oops.
I've got to have I've got to have you on the show. We keep saying that we don't schedule it. We're going to schedule it though. Oh, Mary had another thing she said. Sounds like we'll see some fruit from our work. That's wonderful. That's what she
Yes,
came in
yes.
before the other. So that's great.
You know that the timeline has been, with all of the good light work that people like you have been doing, things have really been modified, and I think things have sped up. We're going to see results sooner because of all of the good light work and the ripples that you have sent out. Things are really happening. Wasn't it a shocking change? Everyone is saying, no, we haven't had a change like this, and polling numbers changing like this has never, ever happened. It's brand new. And thank you, everybody, for the good work that you've been doing. It's paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got this is interesting. Foxy Roxy, thanks for being here. Should I be on alert, I think, for anything on my birthday next year? The date is 5/25/2025. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Let me figure out what that will be. Hold on a second, because it's the 2025 is going to be our 9 universal year. So I am going to, and I can't do that in my head, especially with cold medicine on board. 5/9. Oh, God, are you sitting down? So it's next year is going to be a whole lot easier to get through than this year. So this is a 2 personal year for you, Froxy, and it's a 2 personal year, which can be challenging because of communication difficulties. Setting boundaries can be difficult. Um, Saying no can be difficult. But next year, and it's the vibration will start around January because I do calendar year to calendar year. Is going to be the 3 personal year, which is all about creativity and communication. So let me see. What was your? I don't remember your year of birth. Would you mind letting me have that if you don't mind? Yes, she says yes. I'm sitting down. You're gonna you're gonna like it. I'm gonna, but I don't remember your life path number. If you don't mind giving me your year, I appreciate that. Um, and if you don't, that's fine too. Won't make you. Oh, Ness, you replayed the reading. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay. Whoops. So, oh, okay, good. Oh, here's her birth date and place and time. I added that wrong. 48. Oh, yes. 34/7. I remember there's a bunch of 34/7s. Very, very bright, bright people. And you sometimes it's hard to have for a 7 to have good communication skills because it's so fluffy on the edges. You have to be nice. You have to anticipate someone else's needs. And that's kind of difficult sometimes for a bright person like yourself because once you're into a project, a poet, you're a poet. Once you're into a project, it's like, leave me alone. I always say to parents, if they have a 7 life path child, it's important for you not to say, Billy, come to dinner, or Billy, we're leaving now. You have to say, Billy, dinner in 15 minutes. Billy, we're going to leave in 15 minutes because it takes you that time to be able to pull away from whatever project you're into and be a nice person when you start that new task, when you go to dinner. And so having a 2 personal year is sometimes challenging, but 3, you like I say, like to say, buckle up because your poetry is going to go skyrocketing. And at the end of next year, I bet you have uh, books, plural, published on Amazon. You may already. You said you're a poet, but it's gonna. Alice, thank you. She's a member. I appreciate that. So is Cynthia. Hello, Cynthia. I appreciate you. So I hope that helps. Foxy Roxy, did you do?
Roxy, no, Roxy, can you send me your email and I will send you an analysis of this? I wrote down your details from the chat, but I don't have your email or the name you want for your under your chart. So put it in the.
Yeah, we don't do the numbers for the proper name, but she needs the proper name to be able to match the email. She says, "Whoa, I needed that. I'm not writing as much lately, but need to do." You're going to want to do more. In fact, that's the cool part about a 3 personal year. My 3 personal year, I created the tarot card, the decks, the Clarity Tarot deck. I wrote the book. I did some videos, a video course of 30 videos that I have. If you want to learn tarot, it's on my website. It's on sale. A little promotion there. But what else did I wrote another book. So I wrote a whole, but that was in my 30 personal year. At the end of the year, I said, gosh, it feels like I haven't done anything. Things will be in the flow. I mean, those videos
In
were
the flow.
so easy to put out. The only frustrating thing is that I didn't know how to do videos and how to edit and all. So that was frustrating. But the information was right on. It's right on. So Shockwave came in. Hello, friends. How is everyone? Shockwave, we're doing fine. We're just settling in for kind of tucking this show, putting it to bed, landing the plane. What else metaphor can we do? But I sure really, no, that's fine. I'm glad you're here and checking in.
That's what the rewind button is for.
That's right. Just a replay.
All of you people, send me your email if you want the free if you want the free information.
Yeah.
I will send you free information. If you're interested in a full reading, let me know you're interested in that. And the free reading has no obligation. I just send you the stuff and that's it. But if you're interested in a reading, let me know.
The reason we're doing that is it's very important because Lalit will be able to pull up your chart lickety split. So it's not like it's going to be all queued up because we don't know if you're going to make it.
And I can see things clearly. If I don't have your information entered in ahead of time, it's hard for me to do a good job.
Well, you always do a good job.
No, and we can
Yes.
do a better job.
You do a better job with the
Everybody,
information.
yeah.
I know that is so true. So I wish you all a
Mhm.
wonderful week. It's going to be exciting. We get to witness meltdown on one side and a push up on the other. So we'll have lots to talk about next week. And I really, really, really appreciate all of you.
Make the most of this week. It's such an important turning point for all of us. And God
Yeah.
bless you all.
God
Love
bless
and
you
light.
all. Thank you so much. Love you.
And the joyful warriors go forth to love and serve.
Yeah, the joyful warriors. That's us. Love ya.